So a sperm meets an egg, and there we have it. Welcome to the loading screen. During the 9 months of loading, you will be given a race, a sex, an environment, and a spot in a developing family tree. The world you are about to enter is endless with millions of branching paths and complex choices. Welcome to your life. The Gamified Life. Episode 1. The Basics. This is you. Or maybe not exactly you, but nevertheless a player in the game we live in. Each player has stats, things like vitality, strength, agility, intelligence, wisdom, and luck. No game is incomplete without a stat table, so let's start with this one. Jeff, the grad student. Now your stats could very well be different compared to good old Jeff's here, but we should ask ourselves, how did we get here? In the game we live in, the early stages of character creation can be quite difficult as we don't exactly have much control over where we allocate our stats. A lot of it relies on RNG, especially regarding our three major influencers: our parents, the environment we're in, and the items that were used towards our development. We may have amazing parent players who maxed out their parenting levels, or maybe not, which is amazing in its own way. We are designated to different environments that boost or hinder different learning potentials and job paths. And lastly, we all receive different items from our parents that change our development. Items including things like painting, a toy car, or Game Boy. In the end, each player varies due to the different paths they took during their tutorial phase, which reflects in our individual stat tables. Some of us could be quite developed already with decent stats and a nice job class, or you could be like Jeff, still looking. However, there are a lot more things than just stats that differentiate us. Each player through different actions and experiences will also gain skills. Skills are what we use in our everyday lives. Although we have stats for our underlying abilities, skills are commands that we can execute or use passively. In the early stages of life, we unlock the most basic set of standard skills through our actions. A simple "goo" will mark the moment you gain the skill basic communication. Other skill trees you may unlock include things like nutrition absorption or movement skills. These skill trees will slowly begin to expand through mastery and practice, eventually getting you into a position where you will outshine. Aside from stats and skills, we also have what are called affinities and titles. Affinities are things that we are born with, while titles are bestowed upon by society. Examples of affinities include your love for music, so when you were a kid, you'd love to dance or sing, or maybe you loved playing with paint, which allowed you to perfect a new skill without others pushing you to. Titles, on the other hand, can come in many forms, such as risk taker or adventurer, which will boost certain stats and skills based off of certain situations. They also have specific requirements in order for you to receive them. The great thing about titles is that you can choose which one to equip, so you could be as lazy as you want at one time, while in others you could be extremely adventurous. And lastly, we have one more area to cover, the one thing that all players have and can get access to, and that is equipment. Now the beauty of equipments is that someone could have terrible stats, but with the right equipment be able to take on the most important tasks that no one else can. However, good equipment can be hard to come by. Some can only be obtained at certain shops and can be extremely expensive. In the end, though our starting lines may be different, through hard work and dedication, we can all improve our characters through obtaining those stat points. We can level out our skill masteries, discover new titles and affinities while utilizing different equipments. And that is why in this MMO that we live in, there are so many different people with different job classes that are based off their different strengths and weaknesses, all walking down different paths. So with this, I want to share with you a new way we can approach this game, a new way you can live the gamified life. The controller is in your hands.